Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This video is in continuation with the previous video, a second part of it, of the frequently asked questions for community medicine as a branch. So after the previous video as well, there were many doubts in the comment section and also on the Instagram DMs. And the questions are just flowing, so maybe, just maybe, there would be a part 3, but I've tried to club everything that was pending in this current video. So one question that kept repeating was how do what is the criteria for choosing a college for my MD in community medicine particularly. So on what basis can I narrow down on these colleges? So to answer the first question, my suggestion would always be to first start with thinking if you really want to take this branch or is it just an adjustment you're making. Then to also ensure that you want to continue in this particular branch in your future as well, because you're investing 3 years plus also the years of your bonded service for how much ever years it is in the particular state. So you're kind of dedicating a lot of time, a lot of years to this particular branch. So please ensure that this is the branch of your choice. Then of course there are many people who would like to change their branch after PG. So if you have any such plans, maybe consider taking a drop and then trying for your dream branch. But there are a lot of people who have messaged me saying they want to finish their MD and then do a PG diploma in some other branch, which again is a personal choice. So if you are passionate about this branch, the number one thing you need to check in a college is how they are in terms of their exposure and their academics. So exposure is in terms of patient load. It's also in terms of the research opportunities that they give you. The exposure is in terms of what kind of field work or community related work are they giving you. So you know how to work. Let's say there is a national program. So you need to know, and your college needs to be having they need to be having people who conduct those programs on ground level. For example, if you have a central institute, they work in a different way. If there's a state government college, they work in a separate way, and they are all contributing to any national program. So how do they do that? What kind of exposure are you getting in that kind of particular area? All those really matter. Secondly, you need to check how the academics of that college is. So academic wala part is maybe not on top priority for many people, because they're like, हाँ वो तो कर ले. PG activities, the kind of the case presentations are all very important. And if clinical में, because you are seeing those cases every day, you are doing those emergency duties, you get hands-on training to answer many questions. But community medicine, everything depends on how well you study, how well you are taught things. So I feel like academics play a very important role, and on those basis I'm always asked to compare between two colleges. But I feel like a PG from that college is the best to answer how their academics is. And of course they're not going to answer that on a public forum, because nobody wants to take that kind of problem over their head to answer anything negative. But maybe you can contact some people via and get some known people on board and ask them, take them into your trust, and ask them how the college is, how the academics is, how well do they focus on the PG residency and training, and how focused are they on ensuring that you get really you get good exposure in your college. If it's a college where the residents are just sitting all day and doing nothing, and they're not, like, it's okay to not come, and the chalta attitude is there, you might be very happy for 2.5 years, but when your exams are nearing, it would be a disaster for you. So is thesis. For example, my college is extremely focused on thesis and to conduct your research very well. Now what happens is, because of this, we always were on time in submissions. We submitted our synopsis on time, the thesis on time. Everything went in a particular manner, in a disciplined way, because our teachers were very particular that the students' activity shouldn't suffer. So you need to see a college where that is the mindset. Strictness और कितना cool है वो तो चलता रहता है, because that also depends on day to day, and it also depends on a lot of factors. But these are like the utmost 2 important points: exposure and academics. The third thing you should be seeing is, of course, how the department is, how the teachers are. Strictness is one thing, but if they are ill-treating the residents, or if there's any kind of mental abuse or any such kind of things that is happening in the department, then maybe that should be very low on your priority list. Again, strictness, discipline, punctuality, all those are very different, because that's expected and that should be there. Otherwise, the department does not run smoothly, is what I have also experienced. But toxicity in terms of any kind of mental or emotional abuse is not done. So you need to again take some residents into trust and ensure the colleges that you are putting names of do not have such kind of toxicity. Fourth is also the location of the college, safety, the accessibility, the transport, all those also matter. So yeah, these are a few points that you need to consider before choosing a college. Please do not go on to ask me, can I choose this over this? Because honestly, I can't answer that. And there are many questions asking me if particular GMC is better than my college, or if what are the drawbacks in that college. I cannot answer that because I'm not from those colleges, and it would be an extremely biased opinion for me to comment about how an XYZ college is without actually being in that college. So please do not ask me any questions regarding A versus B. I won't be answering those. Then the next topic, the next question that I usually get is if language is going to be a barrier, because there are many people coming from northern states to Maharashtra, and there are many people also coming from southern states to Maharashtra or any other southern state. So is language a barrier? Language is not completely a barrier, but you should be knowing the local language, mainly because you're going to be conversing a lot with the people in OPDs. Also during your research, especially if you have a community-based study, you are going to be interacting a lot with people. So language is very important, but why it's not a barrier is because it can be learned. There are many people from Tamil Nadu or Kerala in our college also who have grasped and learned the language in a couple of months. Of course, the Hindi might not be 100% as maybe some other, like a person who's always a native Hindi speaker, but they've done pretty well. They have adjusted and they have been able to converse on day-to-day basis. But yes, Hindi, if you are looking for Maharashtra, then in most cities, Hindi is preferable. In peripheral places, they expect you to speak in Maharashtrian more than Hindi. But again, at least Hindi to seekhna hi hai if you are expecting to come to Maharashtra because of the patient interaction. I won't be lying. English is okay, but not a lot of patients understand English, and maybe you can throw in a few English words here and there, but Hindi, so at least in these states, is important. There were also many questions if I'm a Malayali speaker, but can I take admission in Karnataka? So the similar thing goes over there also. You need to learn the native language of the state, or at least the basic language that is spoken, if not all the languages. So yeah, language is an important issue, though not a barrier. You can learn it and you can work towards that. You have a lot of time to do that. And of course, your residents, I am guessing, are going to be super helpful in that as well. The third point is, what are the career options after taking MD, after passing out? So this is like a question that each and every person has asked me at least once. So I need to address this once and for all. I am a resident doctor myself. So at this point, I'm just going to give you options, but it won't be out of experience. It would be out of my own understanding and what I have, got answers from various people. So the first option is definitely being a faculty in a college under community medicine, because it is teaching is one of the prime most important aspects of community medicine. So teaching job is the first one, academics basically. If you are someone who's not inclined towards academics, then public health, so district health officers, immunization officers, THOs, all of them are from MD community medicine branch. Most of them are. So health officers of that post in your government institutions. A huge chunk of them are from community medicine department. So if you are someone who likes administration, management, running national programs, then you can definitely consider that as one of your options. The third option is working in research institutes if you are inclined towards research. So working in research institutes like ICMR institutes for nutrition or reproductive and child health, they do have openings for different scientist levels. So you can consider that as well. Number 4 is working with any international organization in the development sector. So there are many international organizations, not restricted, but including WHO, UNICEF, etc. So they always have openings for Indian postgraduates as well, where you can work on ground level and make changes and try to be a part of the system and better the system. So there are possibilities in the development sector as well. Even NGOs and even voluntary organizations, the pay might vary depending on institute and the level that they are at, but yes, there are those options as well. Another option is, at whatever happens, you are still going to be a doctor, and you can always have your own clinic, maybe in the evening time. You can run your OPDs, you can do that. So that is also a good option. So as far as what I know, these are some of the options. Though there are plenty of maybe other options that have not been explored yet, and maybe are going to be upcoming in the near future. But PSM, community medicine's role in public health, in disease elimination, in outbreaks, has recently been of like utmost priority and utmost importance, and we've contributed a lot in that sector. Every time a new disease comes, One Health, for example, the One Health approach, they all require community medicine doctors at some point. So the scope is just going to increase, if not be the same. So yeah, it's not like you are not going to be getting jobs after this. There are a lot of opportunities. I can comment better on that maybe when I enter into the real world and enter after my senior residency. I could come back to this and maybe cross verify all of these points. But as far as what I know, these are a few branches that you can choose. So the next question that I get is, what is the work that goes into PSM residency? So PSM residency is like, if I go to talk about a particular day in the residency, how that looks like, let me break it down to you. I already covered the timings, average timings in the previous video, but if you are wanting to know what exactly happens in a day, so we start off like the morning time is usually the OPD time. So let's say around 9 o'clock, 8:30, 9 to 1 o'clock is OPD timing. And we get posted in ARV OPD and IPC OPD. ARV OPD is for animal bite cases, and IPC OPD is for the immunization. Then we also have USTC, RSTC postings. After that, we also are posted in medicine, pediatrics, OBGY for a month each, and also in TB, micro, because we also need exposure in terms of TB because it's a major program and major disease for PSM level. We get posted in micro department also, because micro practicals also constitute a part of our exam. So yeah, these are the places where we are posted throughout the 3 years. And also now there is DRP posting of 3 months. It's a compulsory posting for your MD exam, so that is there as well. So during the DRP, of course, you are away from the college, you are working wherever you are posted at. But apart from those 3 months, the morning time usually looks like this, working in the OPD. Then during the evening, during the afternoon time, post lunch, we have our PG activity. So PG activities are mostly in forms of seminars, case presentations, journal clubs like critically reviewing an article, book reviews, micro teaching. In the between, we also have group discussions about any particular topic that the teacher has given us, library sessions, microbiology or public health practicals. Once a month, we also do visits to important institutions or important places, like let's say a nutritional rehabilitation center, an NRC of a hospital, or we also went to the Disaster Response Force Academy. So yeah, there are visits to public health institutions. This might not be in every college, but it's there in our college for sure. So yeah, that is there. We do get some time for research also in this. We need to figure out about our thesis data collection as well. So yeah, that also constitutes an important part. So yeah, this is how a typical day looks like. Then the next question I get is, do we get enough clinical exposure? You might not get clinical exposure as much as you do get in other branches. UHTC, RHTC mein you have to see the general OPD. So there you do get to see patients coming to you with clinical with complaints. So prescribing, treating, looking at patients, examining, that kind of work is there when you're posted in UHTC, RHTC. In ARV as well, you're dealing with active wounds, you're dealing with animal bite cases, so there is clinical exposure there also. ऐसा नहीं है that you will not be interacting with patients at all. You would be doing that, but it won't be at a very higher level if as much as a specialization. So you need to just deal with that fact if you're taking MD community medicine. But yes, ऐसा नहीं है that you're completely out of anything clinical. You are again I'm going to repeat this. You are a doctor. You'll always be a doctor. You can completely see patients. You can completely give them your advice, examine them, investigate them, and treat them. Nobody can come in between that. And yeah, so don't have that kind of insecurity. But yes, it is what it is. It's also about, will I get enough time for pursuing any hobbies, and will I get enough time to study something else as well? So I have answered this in part in the previous video again, but yes, you will get enough time to pursue your hobbies, but depends on how time consuming those activities are. If you are looking for let example, maybe dancing is your hobby and you want to take out 1 or 2 hours a day for that, of course you will get that time. But if you're looking at something, if you want to study something else along with your residency, you might not get time for doing that, because as I also mentioned in the previous video, if you are doing your residency from a good college, it really will take a lot of time of you, because your first 3 to 4 months goes into your thesis, topic selection, presentations, research, review of literature, and it will go a lot into all of that, and you might not get enough time. Then post that, your activities start. When your activities start, kitna bhi ho, those evening mein there's a certain part which goes into preparing for those activities. And yeah, basically the time for studying an entirely different thing, like let's say UPSC preparation, or let's say a diploma in something else, will take a lot of your time. So please don't try to keep your legs in 2 different boats and try to sail, because you're just going to fall down and not be able to reach the destination with either of those boats. So either you choose MD PSM and be completely dedicated to this and explore other options in the future if that's what you want to do, or take a drop, think about it, and take PSM only when you're ready to commit to the subject. Please don't think that just because this is a paraclinical branch, this won't have anything to do. There are a lot of things to do in the branch in those 3 years of your residency. You might be exhausted at some point, but you will definitely not be ideal if it's from a good institution. Having said that, there are a lot of people who do choose institutions which do not have much work, because they want to prepare for such exams, and they want to pursue other subjects as well. If you are one of them, then of course please feel free to do so, and please go ahead and choose a college which is not very inclined, and you can just go, sit, study, and come back. I won't be commenting on those colleges, definitely, but if you are one of those people, of course it's a personal choice. Then yes, there are n number of questions again asking me, this is my rank, will I get this college, will I all of those. So I'm definitely not answering questions about ranks, because I already answered that previously. I'm not answering questions like, should I take PSM? It's a personal decision. How do I convince my parents? already spoke about in the previous video. Not talking about that, because again it's something that you need to figure out as a person, as an individual. Salaries, yeah, those are the most common questions. Yes, I do get one more question. If is it okay to do PSM from a private college instead of a government college? Depends. There are a lot of institutes in private as well which have a lot of clinical exposure, which do if it's a lone medical college in that particular district, then of course the exposure is going to be much better, and you will get a good amount of patient load. You need to check if it's a private college. Again, my criteria would be the same. See for the exposure, see how good they are with their academics. It's okay. There are some private institutes who are very, very focused on research, who are very dedicated. Even with like 2 or 3 residents in their hospital, they are very dedicated कि बहुत अच्छा करना है. They get a lot of opportunities as well. They get a lot of research options, and they get a lot of grants. So if the college that you're looking at has all of these, then there is no harm in choosing a private college. It basically just boils down to the same criteria. Exposure dekho, academics dekho, department dekho, check how far or near, how accessible and safe it is. If it fits all those points, and if you are able to afford the fees, and if you're not getting a government college and this is one of your options, of course there is no harm in doing that. I also got a private college in my first round, which I obviously dropped because I personally wanted a government college, so I waited for my next round. But it's not the case with everybody. There are people who retained in that college as well. No harm. Choose it only based on those criterias, and use your brain to the optimum level before you choose a branch, before you put those preferences in your list. Because NEET PG counseling, there are a lot of uncertainties. It's a lot of here and there, this and that, chances, luck also along with your marks. So just choose it very, very carefully. Add your preferences very, very meticulously and carefully. So this is it for now. And there are many other topics like how to approach thesis, how to prepare papers for paper or poster presentations. There are topics like which books to refer throughout MD. These are some topics that I will be touching on in my subsequent videos. These 2 videos are currently for the ones who have still not gotten into this branch. So this is what it is. I will be talking about the other important topics in the subsequent weeks in some more videos. So stay tuned for that as well if you're very certain about getting into this branch. And yes, all the very best for your NEET PG counseling. I hope you get the branch of your choice. I hope you get the college of your choice in the city of your choice. And all the very best for it. Do good, and I'll see you next time.